All of my let's just be friends are friends. I don't have it anymore. Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing the battle of the bases. I'm going to be testing the KVD Shaker Primer. This is like the latest like eyeshadow base product to like really hit the market, and it's had a lot of buzz because, you know, as you can see, it is a liquid form of an eyeshadow base or a primer, which is very rare. I wanted to test it out because I'm like, does this really work? Like, this is not what we're used to. I'm going to be comparing how pigmented shadows are going to show up on my eye in comparison to the P. Louise base. Everybody knows about P. Louise. It's great for making your eyeshadow look very pigmented and vibrant, especially for me. I pretty much use the P. Louise base in all of my videos with all of my looks, and I'm just trying to see, you know, if this KVD Shaker Primer is going to give this a run for its money. So if you were interested in seeing how these products perform, then keep on watching. So first things first, I'm just going to show palettes that I'm going to be using for this look, so I don't have to hold it up and just, you know, I don't want to say and then, like I just want to go straight through this. So I will be taking the matte, this is upside down, of course. I will be taking the matte book by the crayon case, and this is a black owned brand if you didn't know, and I pretty much have been using this palette in a few of my last looks. And I'm also going to be taking the Amrezi ABH palette because it has this black shade in there that I want to play with. And so with that being said, yeah, let's get started. It's going to be very simple. You know how P. Louise performs, but I wanted to go in with this first just so you can have a before, if you will. Like, this is what it looks like and this is what it looks like. This one is in the shade Rumor 5. And I'm just going to talk as I apply my shadows. This is my first time doing a look. It's my first time kind of doing a video like this. I don't like to talk while I do my makeup. I feel like it kind of stunts my progress. P. Louise base, if you live in the US, it'll run you about $15 if you're, this is a UK based brand, so if you're in that area, it says it's 10 pounds. I think I'm saying that correctly. It says it is 10 pounds, and you know, 15, that can be a little bit pricey for a base because, I mean, it's how many ounces? You don't use much, but the container is small, as you can see. So the type of base that I am using, this one is like their basic set of bases because they also do colored bases as well. And so with those, you have a range you can choose from. Pastels, I believe. I don't know if they have neons, but they should if they don't. More along on the skin tone side of things because it's kind of meant to be like a way to like blank out any like darkness on your eye. Give your eye a whole like blank canvas kind of feel, and that way it's almost like you're concealing your eye because the consistency is like similar to concealer. A lot of people actually do use these P. Louise bases as concealer. I haven't tried it. It sounds interesting. I don't know if it's something that'll work out for me, but I'm open to anything. It's definitely pricey for $15, but it's not, if you want to splurge on something like that, it's not that bad. Like if you just want to buy one little thing to like help enhance your eyeshadow, I think $15 might do the trick. So yeah, it's a very creamy base. It obviously helps, like, I don't know if you're looking at how my eyeshadow looks now, but it is doing its thing. So I'm hoping that this look comes out bomb because I've already like completely started over, y'all. Like, it was about to be a wrap. I did a whole entire look, hated it, and just decided to start over. I'm actually gonna take this NYX jumbo pencil. This one is in the shade Black Bean, and I know this is such a throwback because I know not a lot of people use this jumbo pencil anymore. Like, this jumbo pencil along with Milk was everything like when I was coming up in like my makeup game, because whoo child, it needed some work. So basically I just wanted to build this look up. I do plan on doing something like special, which is why I went with darker shades. Also, it is fall time, so let's do fall stuff, guys. I'm gonna blend this a little bit. I was nervous about doing shadows first and then going into this. Guys, I hope this is giving you Halloween vibes, because spoiler alert, that's what we're kind of doing. We're doing like a little soft Halloween-ish glam. Okay, so I went back in with a little orange. I do find myself having to like definitely build up, but it's definitely, it could be because of the palette I'm using. These shades, they work really well. Some shades in this palette work really well. Like, I love the green family in the matte book palette by the Crayon Case, because it's very vibrant and I don't have to use that much, but other shades are a little bit on the dry side. So now we're going to the fun part. So as you all can see, it is black at the bottom, clear at the top. And so what is recommended that you do is you shake up the products first so that the clear and the black mix together. And so I shook it up just a little longer because I really want this product to mix together. So now it's all mixed up together. And so you take the top off, and then it's like this droplet kind of thing, almost like you're putting eye drops in your eye. And then there's this squeezy part, this plushy part at the bottom. You squeeze. I'm actually gonna put it onto my finger and then rub it onto my eyelid, which is also what it says on the box. Then rub it on your eye, because just putting it directly on your eyelid is a recipe for disaster on the highest of keys. KVD advises you to just let this sit down for a little bit. As this kind of being like my second time trying this product, but my first time on camera, I know that it's best that you let it dry down to the point where it feels sticky, because I think that sticky feeling is the key to the product actually being like an adhesive for the eyeshadow. All of my let's just be friends I don't have anymore. Well, I've let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to imitate what I did on the right side on the left side. Yeah guys, I almost took my eye out by applying this like directly onto my eyelid. So if you're going to get this product, I do encourage you all to most definitely apply it on your finger and then go in to your eyelid. Okay, so we can stop and we can observe. It is showing up, and it is showing up very pigmented. So okay, kudos to you, KVD. It is doing its thing. I think like I was on the KVD Instagram page and it said something like say goodbye to like your normal primers or something like that, you know, in terms of eyeshadow primer. And I just don't know if I'd go to that extreme just yet. Like, baby girl, this has to prove to be like convenient for like all my cut crease lovers. Okay, so I'm gonna note that the orange I just applied is almost like barely showing up. Like, I don't know how it looks on camera, but it's barely showing up for me. And so I'm finding that, I mean, I had to swirl my brush in here a few times, and so yes, it could be the shadow themselves. Maybe the orange in this palette isn't the most vibrant or the most buttery, but I'm finding that I have to like swirl my brush a lot just to get this shade to show up. And I don't know if this is a reflection of me not having put enough up to that point of my eyebrow. I wanted to also just jazz this plain look up a bit, so I'm taking my Kiss Lash Glue and I'm taking some of this copper glitter and I'm going to do a glitter wing. I know they have glitter liners out there, but I don't know if a glitter liner can really do what like this, what do you call this? This fine glitter can do. I don't know. Oh yeah, the lashes are applied and I'm gonna go into the skin and I'm gonna hold my thoughts for last. And so yeah, so loves, this is the completed look. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I know my makeup is looking a little bit spooky, but that's on purpose because we are in the month of October. It is spooky makeup season and I'm going to be having some fun with the makeup this month. I'm going to be playing dress up. That's my most favorite thing to do, is to play dress up. So if you want to see more of those looks, head over to my Instagram at Taylor Rain. That is where all the fun is going to be happening. That's where everything's going down. I feel like sometimes I'm like in my perfectionist bag when I'm trying to post stuff for YouTube. The judges have deliberated, and the judge is me. So on this eye, I use the P. Louise base, and I use the shade Rumor 5, which is a lighter shade. And I did that on purpose because the lighter the shade, obviously, on a brown skin person, the lighter the base that you use, the more vibrant your shadows will look. And I went in with my KVD Shaker Primer on this eye, and I will have to say, right now, looking at my face, right now the KVD side is winning, but that doesn't mean that it is a winner. Let me break it down. So this always performs no matter what. I use this in all of my looks, and I know that it performs because I've used it so many freaking times. But this obviously helps the shadows to stick to, well, if you do not set your base like I do not set my base, then the shadows are going to stick. It's easier for the shadows to stick, and then, you know, blend around and stuff like that, and it will show up. Right now they do look the same, but just with some slight differences. With the P. Louise base, when I first began using this, I didn't feel like I had to use as much orange to get it to show up. So it showed up, and it's not, the orange on this eye is not as popping or vibrant as it is on this eye. And so with that being said, I had to use a lot of the orange shade with this on my left eye, and that is why it is currently showing up so much right now. So yes, it's so much more vibrant on this eye because of how much I had to keep kind of packing it on. And that could be for several reasons. It could be because maybe I didn't get as much of this product on my brow bone as I did this. I did take this P. Louise base all the way up so that it blended into my concealer I use to clean up my eyebrows. In terms of blending, it's always easy to blend with the P. Louise base. The base is this, using this particular product on myself, it isn't super sticky to the point where I can't swivel my brush back and forth. With this, I also didn't experience any issues with that. Like, the first shade that you use needs to be blended out pretty well with using this base, and then it will kind of set the tone for how the rest of the shadows blend into that shade. So here's some things that differ price points. This one is $15 if you're purchasing this in the US, £10 if you live in the UK. This one is $22. I believe I got this from Ulta, and I believe it cost me $22. That is a bit pricey. I said this was pricey, but that is a bit pricey for a tube that comes like this. Like, it's not big at all. And this one is 0.17 fluid ounces, while this one was 0.50 fluid ounces. So you do get more product in this. It's cheaper. There's like an $8 difference. No, 8, 9, 10. There's a $7 difference between these two products. This one is the cheapest, even though $15 for a base, many people would maybe not want to spend $15 for a base that looks like a miniature travel size of toothpaste. And then this one is just like a very tiny bottle, which like can easily get through TSA, and it is just, you know, it's not like, I honestly feel like, and I mentioned this in the video, I don't know if I'm going to edit this part out or not, but I saw on the KVD Instagram, in like a caption or something like that, or maybe a graphic, it was like, KVD is replacing, this shaker primer is replacing all primers, like, or how you look at primers, something like that. And I was just like, okay, we shall see. And now that I'm using it, I'm like, there's no way that this could possibly replace you using like a primer that's a cream, because a cream primer, like it just sticks. And I mean, this sticks too. Like, it's like an oil. Essentially, it's like an oil that once you let dry down on your eye, it gets a little bit tacky, so that the shadows just then stick to you. And so I feel like, okay, that's good, but it's definitely not, it's definitely not getting replaced by Taylor. If I had to pick a winner, I have to give it to my P. Louise base. I have to because for so many reasons. Like, it's more convenient with using this. I mean, I think in the directions, like on the box, I had the box originally, and it was like you take it and you drop it onto your eye, but you don't want to do that because that will go into your eye. Like, this is not eye drops, this is supposed to be primer. And so I would say it has some health hazards, if you will. And so it still worked out with me putting onto my finger then dabbing it onto my eye. However, it's just not super convenient with the way, like, it's unique. It's a very unique product, I will have to give it that. It's a very unique product, but it isn't the most convenient thing to use. Say if you are like in a rush and you need a primer and you go to grab this primer and then you gotta shake it up first and then you gotta place it onto your eye, and then let's say it gets in your eye and now you gotta spend like 2 minutes trying to get it out of your eye. Or say you don't want to spend time shaking it up, you just need a primer that's good to go, and you want to just put it on your eye and blend out, and boom, you ain't got time, you don't have time to wait for it to dry to get tacky. You just do your thing. So I feel like in terms of convenience, this ain't it, but this is most definitely it. I feel like they do pretty much both perform very similar to each other. I just feel like I had to use a little less product when I was using my Louise base as opposed to the KVD primer. And I feel like it's a very unique product. Maybe if I feel like being fun and quirky, if I'm doing like a funny video or something like, not funny, if I'm doing like a little cute unique video for Instagram or something like that, I wouldn't mind using it. I just think it definitely isn't replacing regular eyeshadow primer or base anytime soon. It's not convenient enough. But however, I feel like KVD is a very unique product. I can't wait to see all the other stuff that you all are going to be rolling out as, you know, KVD continues to go through this transition. Now that you all have my thoughts, I leave with you the winner of this battle and my final thoughts, and I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You can feel free to comment, and definitely don't forget to subscribe, and also most importantly follow your girl on social at Taylor Rain with 2 E's. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you and stay beautiful.